What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you my absolute favorite deck in UniVersus, the Dr. Wily 2 Dot. Jasco has decided that they want to make a retro format tournament, and so we here at TCG University want to arm the good people with as much knowledge as possible to play in this online event, and they have let us play with a bunch of really cool cards. And so my absolute favorite deck, the deck that put me on the map, Dr. Wily 2 Dot, is open for grabs, and so of course I had to play him as my first week. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the profile and see what the good doctor has ordered. All right, so if you haven't seen one of my deck profiles before, what I'm going to be doing is, as opposed to just telling you and reading off the cards verbatim what they do, I'm going to be telling you more about how the deck wants to work. So how does Dr. Wily 2 Dot want to work? Well, he's very much a win more character. He says, enhance, destroy foundation, your attack gets faster, and if it deals damage, I'm destroying a ready foundation. And so I want to string as many long, fast attack lineups as possible, destroy your entire staging area so that your only option is to rebuild what you have lost, and then it'll go back to my turn, and then I get to do it again. As well as, he says, response after the ready phase, if I've hit you with an ally attack, I reveal my entire momentum to you and then pick it back up. And this is after the ready phase, not after your ready phase, so I get to pick up an attack on your turn and my turn if I have at least 2 ally momentum. This character is so oppressive, but with that said, if my opponent's really good at blocking, the character actually just doesn't do anything. Because it says, if you hit and it deals damage, they destroy one. Well, if they blocked it, it didn't deal damage. And it says, if I have a momentum, I get to add it back. If you blocked it, it didn't go to momentum. And so this character has to make sure that I get to get my pokes in. As well as, I have to make sure that my opponent has ready foundations. If on their turn, they go all in, and they've got 10 amazing foundations, and they've committed all 10 of them, my destruction effect doesn't work. And that's like the main reason I want to play the game, is to make sure you don't have these resources. And so with that, let's get into it. So because this is the retro format, and with the cool, awesome gauge keyword being what it is, we now get to the opportunity to play Dr. Wily 1 Dot. Dr. Wily 1 Dot is kind of the exact opposite, but the same as Dr. Wily 2 Dot. 2 Dot says you get speed, 1 Dot says you get damage. 2 Dot says you get to grab an attack back. 1 Dot says after you've destroyed a foundation, you get to build another card. And so they're working in tandem with each other in like the most beautiful way that I think a 1 Dot and a 2 Dot should. I think it's like a perfect example of 1 Dot helping 2 Dot and 2 Dot helping 1 Dot and covering all of their weaknesses. It's like they were made for the gauge mechanic. My favorite 2 characters to be put on a card together, but I'm biased. So as we jump in, I want to talk about the main engine of the deck first. Before we even get to attacks, I want to talk about Skull Fortress 2. Skull Fortress 2 is the entire reason to play this deck. It has the ally keyword, just like 99% of the cards in my deck do. It says all allies attacks get plus 1 speed, mine and yours. And this is response destroy. After you have destroyed 1 or more foundations, reveal the top card of your deck. If it has the ally keyword, you get to build it into your staging area face down. And so every turn, I'm going to be trying to trigger as many destroy committed foundations as possible in order to trigger these really awesome, really powerful effects. And then with Skull Fortress 2, checking the top cards of my deck. Oh, it's an ally, I'll build it down. Oh, it's an ally, I'll build it down. And rejuvenizing my staging area in order to keep attacking with these big, long attack strings, like I said at the top, in order to destroy your foundations. And so basically, he's cheating the game of, I'm going to destroy my foundations in order to destroy your foundations. But with Skull Fortress, I'm not actually destroying my foundations. I'm ending up going even, possibly +1 or +2, and you are going -1. It feels really, really good. But when you get stuck with an on-attack, like Dr. Wily on top of your deck, it doesn't feel great. Except for the fact, you know you're going to check a 6. Hey, look, I got to look at the top. I know I get to play some cool stuff. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the attacks. The second, possibly debates out on whether this is the best or not best attack. Moon Ritual Dance. This card's intense. Inside of Dr. Wily, if you have a Skull Fortress 2, it is a 7, 8, 9, 10 low for 2 with gauge 2 that is going to destroy one of their foundations. If you have Moon Ritual Dance and both your characters stacked, so after you've hit them with it once, you now get to take any 2 or lower difficulty card and build it into your staging area or up into your hand. And so one of the main key ways to destroy Dr. Wily and beat him is to get rid of your Skull Fortress. If I have gauged out my characters or I've built out my Dr. Wily 2 and I play my Moon Ritual Dance, Skull Fortress 2 is a 2 difficulty card, so I can just, from my discard pile, just build it into my staging area, and now my engine's online. They weren't able to stop me quite completely. Not to mention, it's so unbelievably fast, and a lot of my attacks are low that they just don't have a chance to deal with this 2 damage. And the fact that it is 2 damage is totally fine. It doesn't matter how much damage I'm doing with the character, as long as I hit you and I destroy a foundation, then I am working towards my goal. This card is absolutely fantastic. One of the best options that Dr. Wily has inside of his match, as well as one of the most aggressive card inside of my deck, Capsule Zap. It is a 3 difficulty attack. Wowzers, how good is that? I get to take any ally card, any ally foundation, excuse me, and build it from my discard pile into my staging area. From there, with Dr. Wily, I destroy it with Skull Fortress 2, I get to rebuild it back. There are a ton of different options that I have and cards that have different jobs, or maybe I'll build in a defensive card and then destroy a different foundation. Now I didn't lose one because of Dr. Wily, maybe I even plus 1 off of Skull Fortress. Not to mention, it being a 3 diff means if I actually find all 4 of these, I just slam them down, and if I check well on all of them, I only commit 1 foundation on the last one. And that foundation that as well as I built in 4 foundations because of playing 4 Capsule Zaps. And the foundation that I did commit, I'll just destroy Dr. Wily and then re-ready it with Skull Fortress 2. These cards are just so unbelievably aggressive, and these are the main thing. If you're fighting against Dr. Wily, you have to make sure that you block. Unless, of course, you can block the Moon Ritual Dance, in which you have to block all 8 of these cards. pretty strong. Up next, we've got one of the big flow cards of the deck, Pinbot Strike. Pinbot Strike is fantastic. It is just the response of Dr. Wily 1 dot, or the response of Skull Fortress, but as a static, and it automatically happens, and it doesn't check for a foundation, or it doesn't check for an ally keyword. So as Pinbot Strike, if I've got a foundation in my staging area, the way that it works is I enhanced on Pinbot Strike, I destroy with Dr. Wily 2 dot. Pinbot Strike just builds the top one down automatically, and then with Skull Fortress 2, it responds, and if it has the ally keyword, it builds down. So I'm trading these 2-for-1s the best that I can. Not to mention, with Dr. Wily 2 dot and Skull Fortress, it becomes a 5 high for 5 that if they don't deal with it, they're going to blow up an additional foundation, and I'm going to get back with Dr. Wily. Up next, I've got my favorite ally attack, Gamma Crush. This card is 100% a win more card, and honestly, shouldn't even be in the deck. But we're playing retro, we're getting nostalgic, so I'm gonna play it. It's a 4 low for 9. You heard me right, for 9 damage. But it is a 7 diff, and so you have to make sure that you plan out your turn. This is why it's so important to make sure that your Skull Fortress 2 triggers happen, because I actually want to play Gamma Crush like 3rd or 4th inside of my turn with a bunch of other lower blocks and make them feel like they have to block those ones. This thing gets speed equal to the each number of foundations that's been destroyed this turn, and that includes mine and yours. It's for any foundation, not just my foundations. Does it need to be in the deck? No. Is it rad? Absolutely. Up next, we've got my least favorite ally attack. We've got 4 Mecha Dragon Blast. The little buddy, the homie, you love him, but you hate him. The reason that you love him is because he is a 3 difficulty attack. And it feels really good to have 8 3 difficulty attacks that genuinely have a ton of value inside of your deck. And so you reveal an ally from your hand, it gets an extra damage. And so it's a 6 high for 4, that if my 3 difficulty attack hits you, I'm just going to pick it back up. And the reason it has to be in here at a 4 of is because it has a 1 high block. If you notice, all the other attacks that I have, they don't have high blocks. This is the only ally high block that has been printed inside of the game. And so we have to play it. Up next, we're playing the disruptive card, MM Copy. This card is really good on defense and pretty much defense alone. It has response card pool. After you play this card, it gains Stun 2, Powerful 2, or Breaker 2. So basically Mega Man 2's ability. And the main way that we want to play this is we actually just want to breaker them in order to attempt to have them just end their turn, not commit any more foundations. You can play against Stun 2 or Powerful 2, but because of the Powerful 2, maybe it's the way that I close out my game, but I'd much rather just pick my momentum back up with Dr. Wily. And with the Stun 2, Dr. Wily 2 dot only destroys ready foundations. So why would I let them commit their 2 best foundations when I can attempt to destroy the entire staging area? 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to play this as a form into my card pool unless I can guarantee that it hits, goes to my momentum, and then with Dr. Wily 2 dot reveal it and add it back to my hand to make the block happen. Besides that, the card is fine. It could be either 2 or 1 of copies. It really depends on just how you feel. Up next, the last attack that we're playing is Double Spirit Shotgun. Now, this card used to be Kickback Crescendo inside of my deck, but honestly, I just wanted another high block, as well as I wanted a throw. There is an evil and sometimes a death version of this deck that does play significantly more ally throws. Honestly, I don't like that build because it has significantly less blocks, and I'm a man who likes to at least the option of block. This card says it is a throw, and it gets a ton of damage for each printed resource on a symbol inside of my card pool. And so, as I said with my big capsule zap plays, playing even like 1 or 2 capsule zaps into the Spirit Shotgun is going to be absolutely massive damage. It already starts at 7. It's a 4 mid for 7. Dr. Wily gives speed to any attack, not just the allies, and so it's a 6 mid for 7. It has 1 keyword, 6 mid for 8, and for every capsule zap that I've played inside of my card pool, it gets an additional 3 damage. Just really, really strong, as well as just a good high block. This is the only non-foundation, non-action card that doesn't have the ally keyword, and so when it does get stuck to the top of my deck, it can be an issue. On to the assets. We are playing Double Team Psycho Soldier, and this is the absolute main reason to be playing Death over Evil. Evil has got a ton of really good, really awesome options, and a lot of them happen to be champ cards, which isn't illegal for Retro. And so Death is just the right choice, strictly because of Team Psycho Soldier. It says Enhance, Destroy a Face-Down Foundation, which we get a ton of Face-Down Foundations because of the synergy with Skull Fortress 2, to give my attack +2 speed or -2 speed, playable while committed. As well as form commit, add a card from my hand to my staging area face down. And that's it. And so I can take this garbage card that I wasn't gonna be killing you anyways, and just build it in my staging area. Now I am ready to Team Psycho Soldier or Skull Fortress 2, or Dr. Wily 2 it away in order to start up these big crazy engines, as well as Dr. Wily 2 wants as many foundations destroyed as quickly as possible, so I can start giving out a ton of damage. And so with these two working in tandem, everything essentially with Dr. Wily 2, Team Psycho Soldier, and Skull Fortress 2, everything gets +5 speed. 5 speed on every attack is insane. It's borderline not fair. Crazy, unbelievable card. And then our last asset is the groupie, La Malta. This card is actually just an insurance parachute card. This card, because we are playing some non-ally cards, which La Malta is, Team Psycho Soldier is, they get stuck on top of my deck. I will respond with Team Psycho Soldier and then reveal a non-ally card. Well, I'm no longer allowed to destroy things because I'm no longer getting that extra free value. My engine has stopped churning. There's something wrong with the cogs. Well, Lamalta says Enhance, check a 4 your attack is +1 speed. And so since I have a non-ally on top of my deck, I need to get it off the top of my deck, and so I will enhance on Lamalta. Hey, I no longer have this ally, this non-ally card on top. I'll destroy another thing. Oh, look, it's an ally, and now I get to start churning back up again. This card shares a very similar role to Dr. Wily 1-Dot's response. You should be saving 1-Dot's response either to make a really big explosive turn or as that parachute of, oh no, I have a non-ally on top of my deck. Dr. Wily 1-Dot's going to cover me the same way that Lamalta does. Onto the actions. We've got for the Tagoro brothers. Dr. Wily's really rude with how he destroys ready foundations, but he only gets to destroy ready foundations. What if I want to destroy your sense of morals that you decided to play? Or your, it's impossible to destroy a true identity unless you have the Tagoro brothers, as well as this is the only asset that we have inside of the deck. If your opponent wants to play a Swordfish too, I don't think so. A Krita Yuga, I don't think so. A Kali Yuga, I don't think so. If they want to play their own Skull Fortress, I don't think so. And not only that, you get to either discard it from the card pool or draw one card. This card combos unbelievably well with Moon Ritual Dance. And so the big combo that you have is you play your Moon Ritual Dance. I have one character. I'll add it to Goro's up to my hand. If they do something, I'll get rid of it. I hit them with my Moon Ritual Dance. This goes to my discard pile. On the start of their turn, I'll add this back, I'll play this, I'll pick this back up. And so every turn, if I hit them with a Moon Ritual Dance, I can just add a Tagoro Brothers up to my hand. Adding Tagoro Brothers every turn just says that my opponent doesn't get to play the game anymore. Not to mention, Dr. Wily says that they don't have any foundations either. It's just a really unfun, uninteractive. You get to look at them as an evil genius and laugh in their face as you loop Moon Ritual Dance and the Tagoro Brothers. It's genuinely just rude. And the last action that we're playing is Double Prepare to Fight. Prepare to Fight is a really, really strong opening play. It could belong in the sideboard, but I like it in the main board at a 2 of. It's really good at stopping multiples, which I think is going to be all over inside of Retro, as well as on a turn 1, it feels really, really solid to pseudo-guarantee, play a Capsule Zap, having gotten rid of an ally foundation. I'll play the Capsule Zap. I'll play the Prepare to Fight on my turn 1. I have no foundations. They're going to add one of their foundations up to their card pool. I'm going to add this card in with Capsule Zap and then destroy it with Dr. Wily for an additional 2 speed. So not only have I added a card from their staging area, which is debuilding them into their card pool, making it harder for them to block, now I've given my attack plus 2 extra speed, and if it hits them, they're going to be destroying an additional foundation, and I get my Capsule Zap back. And so I didn't lose any resources. All I did was force them to stuff an additional card up into their card pool. Up next, we're moving on to our foundations. So one of the most aggressive foundations we have in our deck is actually the Power of Dark Energy. This card is, if I get to trigger this off and I have a group of attacks, I'm going to win the game. It says first form Destroy, which will trigger Dr. Wily and Skull Fortress and all of that to replace itself. For the rest of this turn, whenever I play an ally attack, it gets +2 speed, and I can change the zone to any other zone. So my high attacks can become low, my lows can become high, and it does say the word may, so I can choose to leave them where they are. So with the Power of Dark Energy and Dr. Wily and Skull Fortress, all my attacks get +5 speed. If I've got Team Psycho Soldier out, all my attacks get +7 speed. And so my Capsule Zap is swinging in at a 7 low for whatever damage I can make it. And so that just means they're not allowed to commit cards in order to block it. And so on a big string, the Power of Dark Energy is going to beat them. And we haven't even talked about the cool part. Is after this card is destroyed, I get to take any ally attack from my discard pile, as long as I had no momentum, and add it to my momentum. And so I'm just going to take this Moon Ritual Dance that I get to recur to Gore Brothers every turn, and I'm going to put it in my momentum. At the start of my turn, I'll pick up my Moon Ritual Dance and then start to pop off. The only downside to this play is I'm not playing 3 Dr. Wily cards, and so I can't actually add this card into my staging area with Moon Ritual Dance. That would be maybe a little too intense. On to the next aggressive card, we're playing for Dr. Wily's Challenge. This card says either +4 damage to my ally attack or -2 speed, as well as because of being an ally, it can easily replace itself off of Skull Fortress 2. We're playing a New Alliance. The only ability that I ever want to play on this card is Enhance Commit. If my opponent attempts to block with a foundation, their check gets -3, and I get to draw an additional card. It just guarantees that one of my things hit, and then it's an instant blow-up fodder. It's not very good, which is why it's only here on one of. Onto the flow cards, we've got 4 Premeditated Attack. This card is fantastic, and one of the main ways that I get to catch back up. It lets me make a lot of really good decisions, and it combos really well with a couple of cards. And so the way that it works is after it's destroyed, before anything else can happen, I get to look at the top card of my deck, and then if it is an ally, I get to put it in my staging. Add it to my hand or put it in my staging area face down. And so the way that it combos with Pinbot Strike is I'll choose to destroy the Enhance on Pinbot Strike, destroy Premeditated Attack. Pinbot Strike will trigger and build 1. Premeditated will look at the top. It's an ally. I can either build it or add it to my hand, and I'll build it. And then Response with the Skull Fortress after a foundation was destroyed, I'll build it. And so I get to destroy a foundation and build 3 fresh ones. That seems like an okay trade-off. Not to mention, you have to block it, or you're going to destroy a foundation. Up next on our flow cards, we've got 4 Guardian of the Spirit Sword. And you're saying, Tam, this is always in the defense pile. It says -2 speed. But more importantly, it says Enhance Flip. Discard a card, add Skull Fortress back up to your hand. Like I said at the top, Skull Fortress being off of my staging area is the absolute main way to destroy and cripple and slow down this very oppressive, mean deck. And so if you don't have a way to get your Skull Fortress back up into your staging area, or at least into your hand to then push it through, then you're going to be in a world of hurt. This is the card that does it. On my defense cards, if you want to count Guardian Spirit Sword, you can, whatever. We're playing for Kirin Soul. Kirin Soul says flip. It has the ally keyword, -1 speed, and if I block it, I take no damage. The card's fine. It's mainly in here just because it has the ally keyword, and it's just a perfect block for whatever I need. Up next, we're playing double New Shipmate. This card is just Enhance Commit, essentially -3 damage, and then I can destroy it with Dr. Wily and then respond to Skull Fortress and build a new foundation ready to then block it if I need to, or block something else. There's a lot of cool options. It's only being played at a 2-0 because it does have the unique keyword, but the fact that it gets flipped off the top of my deck so often means that I can play 2 of it and not feel bad because it's hard for me to draw both. And then my last disruptive card is Tank. This card should probably be a 2 of inside of this deck instead. Response remove after my opponent plays an ability on the character card, cancel it instead. I think this card is going to be amazing inside of Retro, and I think it might be one of the most important things that comes into Retro, exclusively because the card Bang is not inside of the format. You can't play the card Bang because of it being a pro mode non-character box topper. And so there's a ton of really crazy abilities that happen character-wise, and just being like, no, I don't think that's going to happen. Not to mention, as Dr. Wily, I get to build it with Skull Fortress. And the last card in the deck, and the reason it is last is because I actually have a little bit to say about it. Friends and Rivals. I actually think this card is terrible inside of Dr. Wily. Why would I bother committing 2 of your cards on a commit cost of my own when I'm not allowed to blow those cards up? This card exclusively is in here because it is a 2 low block and it has the ally keyword. I get to fill up my deck. If you are a little braver than I am and you want to play more non-ally cards, these should be the first 4 cards to leave your deck. This card is not good. They're just going to commit their good cards, and I no longer get to destroy them with Dr. Wily. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching my deck profile on Dr. Wily 2. He is my absolute favorite character in the entire game, and if I could play him forever, I absolutely would. If you liked the profile, make sure you check out all the matches that Dr. Wily played in, as well as all the other profiles and the matches from the rest of the Retro Round 1 Campus Championship. If you want to catch the matches live, please go out to twitch.tv/TCGUniversity, drop us a follow so that you get notified whenever we go live, as well as if you want to talk to me about your really cool Dr. Wily ideas, I would love to gush about this character forever. Please go out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity, sub out there for the $1 level, get access to our Discord, and you can talk to the faculty or any other TCGU student body, and we would love to chat with you about the Mad Doctor. So, from all of us here at TCG University, thank you very much for watching, and stay learned.